A big hi to all of my subscribers. I hope everyone is having a lovely weekend. It is absolutely crazy outside at the moment. We are having a spring thunderstorm, but I have nothing going on this Saturday, and so I decided to just play around with some ideas, and I wanted to bring you along. This is episode 3 of Using Up Field Guides. This is a Using Up Field Guides series, and I wanted to try this idea. I just had this crazy idea, and I just wanted to share it with you. I have not done a prototype, but I have cut down everything that I need for a prototype, and I can explain up until then. But what inspired me were these beautiful tea cards that people tuck a lot into journals. This one is the Wildflowers by they're actually from Great Britain and Ireland. It's from a tobacco company over there, and these are quite vintage, but they had these beautiful depictions of wildflowers on them, and they have the name on the front, and then they have information on the back. Okay, so what I thought was, these are so unique, and they're not common to import, and they can be quite expensive. So I wanted to make my own. So let's go for it. I took one of my cards as my prototype. I pulled out one of my field guides, which this one is the Peterson Field Guide to Rocky Mountain Wildflowers, and it has these plates in the book. These beautiful plates of flowers, and I found one that was just really, really, really pretty. It's this one caught my eye, and so I thought I want to try to replicate that. What I did run into was a lot of this detailing on the back, and I thought, well, I want to have details on the back of mine as well. So I had a little template, and I cut out with my paper trimmer one that will actually work for what I have done. So let me find, I have everything ready, and then I come on camera and it's just like, where did everything go? Okay, here is my little card, and I just used an index card, and this one happens to be coffee dyed, but yours don't have to be coffee dyed. They can be white, because these are not quite as dark as the coffee dye. But anyway, it just so happens that with the dimensions of this flower, I was able to figure out how I could make my own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this first of all. So, and you don't have to cut out the exact size of the flower. You can cut the exact size of the cards, but these actually were almost the same size, so I just want to cut. I also noticed that these were glossy, and I really hated to use my my pretty glossy originals, so I made a copy, but this is only going to be for me to use. I'm not selling it or anything like that. So this had a little, not so much gloss, so it was a little bit more vintage like, and I'm just going to cut very carefully around the outside of my picture. And I really want to make sure that I cut straight. So this may take a second, but I am just cutting. Talk about fussy cutting. This is fussy cutting, but I think it will be totally worth it in the end. I probably could have used a trimmer on this, but I was just afraid it would go just awry enough to ruin my flower, so it's hard to see it. Okay. My natural light that normally comes in from outside, it is so dark here, and it was just being so grumbly outside. I went ahead and fed the cats early. They're thinking they're like in Britain or something. They're like, is this tea time or dinner? Because, you know, it's late in the afternoon, but it's not quite their dinner time. But it was just getting so rough outside. I was like, I need to go ahead and feed them. And my little poor kittens, they're not used to, they don't quite know, they're not kittens, but they're, you know, half a year old at least, but they're not quite used to everything that is outside in these thunderstorms. So they're just like running all over the place, confused. And I felt sorry for the babies, but they're really dirty. So I didn't want to bring them inside. And okay, so this is about what we're going to get. Okay, so I'm going to take my card first of all, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to center this, because this has a natural frame around it. And so the frame is only around this, and I noticed that I don't really want to put Will's cigarettes just because we have come, oh, and the train comes through. I hope y'all can hear me. We've got the thunderstorm and the train, and goodness gracious. Yes, I live in a very rural town, if I haven't already told you. Some of you may not, the new people may not know, new subscribers, to which I am so grateful, by the way, may not know that I live in a very, very rural, deep South Georgia town. And I have, the railroad tracks go right through the middle of the little town, and they pass right, I live in an old historic home, and the train tracks go right through the center of town, if you want to call it that. So they can be heard. Our little historic home is right there on the train tracks. So they basically, I can see them from my craft window as they are going by. It's actually kind of fascinating if you're watching them. Okay, so see how I just went around in black soot distress ink. I just went around the edges to kind of give it that frame. And I think I'm going to go around this one and give it a frame, even though just barely a little frame, just because I just want to give it a little bit more of a tidied look, so to speak, since I cut this out. You know, this wasn't factory cut. This was cut by me. So okay, so here we have this, and I'm just looking at my card, and I really didn't want to have cigarettes up here at the top, so I am just going to kind of center this in just a tish and kind of see where I want it. And then I did happen to take I'm going to take the mountain heath, since this is the bee orchis. I am going to I'm also going to cut that out. What I did was I went in and I made my own little template. You could write on the back of yours or not have anything at all, or you could cut it out of the book and put it on the back of the card. But I put Rocky Mountain Wildflowers here. And then just like the back of the card, I put the mountain heath and the scientific term for it, and then I put the family that it was in. It's in the heath family. And then I just took a small amount of information out of the book with a description, and just put a small evergreen shrub, often growing in mats, with umbels of bright pink flowers, urn-shaped. Oh, I may need to redo this. With umbels of bright pink flowers, urn-shaped flowers on long, slender stalks. Okay, I did not do that correctly. So I will need to go back and fix that. So let's see. I am still going to use the mountain heath off of here. So I basically just made my own little card, just like the back of my others, except I named it with the Peterson Field Guide series down here. I put that instead of the whatever they put down there for theirs. So I'm just going to cut off that very carefully. I'm going to cut off the name of the Wild Mountain Heath, and I'm doing this off camera. I possibly get everything on camera and get you close enough with at the moment. So please bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to take this tiny little bit of mountain heath and try to cut along the lines. Okay. And then I'm just going to barely ink around. It's not quite straight. You don't have to do this, it's quite as straight, but this is just, oh, I'm so excited about making my own little cigarette tea cards. Because it's so cool, because you can, when you make your own, I mean, they'll totally be unique to you for the most part. And if you're not selling them or anything, I don't see the harm in putting them on your work. So I have that. Let me see if the copy that I finally printed out to use, let's see. Yes, I'm gonna, I know this is real time and I can't pause this, but I am totally going to pull up what I had down and fix that typo real quick, because I still have it pulled up on my computer. And I'm getting so nervous because I'm having to do this on camera. I'm trying to hurry. Okay, so with umbels of bright pink flower, with umbels of urn-shaped, urn-shaped, I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. Okay, so umbels of urn-shaped bright pink flowers. And this, you know, you can do these tea cards whichever way, whatever way that you want to. It's totally up to you. Oh, gracious, what did I do? Flowers. Okay, so now it should read correctly. It should say, with umbels of urn-shaped bright pink flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to print this off very quickly and hope that my dimensions are the same. And I use the blue ink. Now, you don't have to get all into this as much as I am getting into it. I mean, but I just wanted to really come up with this. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm just going to take my mountain heath. I'm going to go ahead and get it where I want it before I turn my card down. So basically what I'm going to do is just come along and just these small little pieces like this, you can just rub across your glue stick. I'm using Scotch Create Permanent Multi-Purpose Glue Stick, and I'm going to put it down here at the bottom, and this glue gives you just a second to move it around and get it like you want it. I say that, and now it's not moving for me. It will. Just need to get it up, get it up, get it up before it dries too much. Okay. So, if you like doing very tedious things, this is a very tedious little thing to do. But if you have a day where you're just relaxing and want to try something new, this is such a fun idea. I think it's just so fun to create and try to recreate and etc. Cool things that like old pieces of ephemera and be like a master forger, you know, without infringing on any copyrights or anything like that. Now, I think I may have told you before, I know that I talk kind of slow quite often, and down here in the South, that's just kind of, we talk a little bit slower. So if you want to put me on 1.25 playback speed on your YouTube, that's totally fine. I am not going to, well, I won't even know, so I can't get offended, can I? But no, I do that a lot too, for people when I can understand them and I don't have time to sit there and listen to and watch them cut every little thing. I will often speed them up and still get what they're saying, still be able to watch everything that they're doing, and also be able to get through the video, get the idea. If I'm not crafting along with them, just get the basic general idea, and then take it from there. Okay, so here we have the front of our T card. Okay, so isn't that neat? I may come back in and fix some of the peely uppies that I have. This one just wanted to happen to warp right there. Be very careful when you're pulling this up because it will rip on you for sure. And then you'll have to cut another one out, print another one, etc. Okay, so here we go. It's not exactly, well, it's not exactly perfect, but if you see this one on the sides, it's not exactly perfect. This is more edge, blank edge over here than it is over here. So I have a little bit more up there, but we can also fix that by coming in, and it won't be as noticeable if we just ink it a little bit more up there. Okay, so look, this is my little T card, first of all. So I have my Mountain Heath, and then on the back, I'm just gonna ink around really fast, and I'm gonna grab this. The printer just, it's like my printer knows. It just shoots the, shoots the paper right at me, and all I have to do is lean over and pick up the piece of paper. I love when I'm filling Etsy orders. Also, if you're having trouble finding my Etsy store, by the way, I have linked it in, I'm starting to link it in my videos now, so it will, I'm starting to link it in my videos now, so it will actually be, you can actually just click on the link in the description instead of having to go on my basic info on my channel. And, oh, I should not have eaten those, I ate, espresso beans. You don't have to go and look at the basic info on my channel to find my email or my Etsy. It's already on there for you. And the link to the Etsy store is in the description for the video. So I've started linking that, and now I am going to ink around the edges of this, and I noticed that for some reason this one printed a little bit taller than I was anticipating, but it's not too big for the card. But I am kind of cutting off these black edges because I can ink the sides of the card and it still looked framed in, but I'm trying to fit this within the parameters of the back of the card. So it really didn't take me a long time to type this in, and if you save the template that you make, then you can certainly just, you know, make your own each time and just change it up for the cards. Okay, so I'm going to just ink around this in. I'm gonna do black just around because some of my little lines were still peeking through. And I did the blue writing because I just thought that that was really cool, that that's the way that they did it on the back. So I did the blue type. And you know, a lot of people don't want to do fussy stuff like this, but if you do want to try your hand at something, I think this just came to me today. I was like, what am I going to do today? And so I have a customized journal that I have to do, and I'm going to be getting dirty later making, dyeing special papers for this person's customized journal, which I have those in my Etsy shop. But anyway, I thought before I got into that, I would play around today because it's very rare that I have a Saturday without anything to do, and it's raining outside, so I can't work in the yard or the garden. So I'm kind of stuck inside, which I'm like, yay, more crafting time. So that's that. Okay, so here I have the front of my card, my little card, and here is the original little card. Okay, so this could have been done on this could be done on Let me see if I can get you in. Okay. This could be done on index cards, just some kind of sturdy paper. So here is our little card that we just made, and here's the one that I used as a that I copied from a prototype. And then on the back, here we are with our Rocky Mountain Wildflowers card. Sorry, you're out of frame. There you go. And there's our card. So if you like this, please hit like. And if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. I am constantly making fun little things to put on here, and so this is just one of those little ideas that it just popped into my head, and I was like, I am going to share that today. So there you have it. And of course, you know me, I am a little picky, and I do not want this much of this bright white to show on my thing. So I'm just going to take my antique linen, which seems to be kind of dry, run it over that mountain heath. Okay, this is like silly ridiculous. My ink pad, I've got re-inker, but I also have a bigger one, and I think it's juicier. Those smaller ones tend to dry out. To me, they tend to dry out a little bit faster. But if you're just starting out and you don't really know what colors you want, or you won't use certain colors, it's definitely worth going in there and buying the bigger ones. And that's what I've done. I know that I use antique linen a lot, so I knew to buy the bigger one so I could have more space. Okay, so or have more room to do things. These are little paddle brushes that you can get. If you haven't seen these, I have them in different sizes in my bowl. They come in different sizes. They're not, I think I got these on Amazon. They are super cheap, and I just take a baby wipe and wipe mine off when I have finished using them, and then that way they don't cross-contaminate. Okay, so see how this just took the edge of the bright white off of the card, but it didn't brown it up, but it just took that bright white off of the card. So now it's a little bit closer to this. Okay, so there you have it. Please check out my Etsy store if you haven't, The Creator's Attic. I would love to have you as a visitor and a customer, and stay tuned for more videos. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. I was going to say see you soon, but I guess I won't see you. I'll just, I guess I'll talk at you very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.